Let's take a closer look at your forecast. This is Pismo Beach. We have temperatures still at 75 degrees, so pretty warm day. It was clear most of the day for the coastal sections throughout the central coast today. Little change tomorrow. We're going to see the fog moving back in for the beaches, but the interior valley is still going to be warm as higher pressure still dominates our forecast. High since midnight, 74 in Santa Barbara. Santa Maria, 66 degrees. San Ynez, 84. Paso Robles, 94. We could be approaching 100 degrees tomorrow, and 79 the high in San Luis Obispo. That could be bumping well into the 80s, if not the 90s tomorrow. Looking at 90s right now for the coastal valleys. Temperatures along the coastal valleys down to about the 60s, upper 60s in San Luis Obispo, 64 for Santa Maria, and of course dropping down into the 60s for the coastal areas for the beaches. Fog should be returning. We're not seeing much of a change. Within 3 degrees or so, we talked about this yesterday. We're not going to see a big change all the way through tomorrow in terms of high temperatures for most of the central coast. The big story remains winds. As we approach this evening, we're going to see those sundowner winds developing with this northerly flow, and it really just drags the warm air right over the mountains down toward the coast in Santa Barbara, pushing the temperatures up, and the winds very, very gusty. That does lead to some fire danger. Also, Goleta releasing that statement. SoCal Edison maybe turning off the power for some locations based on those weather conditions tonight. Another day of very gusty winds tomorrow afternoon into the evening, but not quite as bad. We're going to start to see the sundowners kind of dissipate a bit as we head through the next couple of days. Here is a look at the satellite radar picture. Slowly, we do have lower pressure continuing to push toward our area. This is just a little surface low, which is kind of spitting some moisture up and going to help beef up our marine layer, but not going to do a whole lot to change the temperatures, at least for the next couple of days. But it is going to do this, bring the fog back into our area. That will cool the beaches down, some of the coastal valleys down. Interior valleys, one more warm day out there. 100 the expected high in Paso Robles, 78 for San Luis Obispo, 73 in Santa Maria, 78 for Santa Barbara. So again, beaches cooling a bit. Cayucas 63, Morro Bay 67. Interior valley still very hot. 93 in Atascadero, 103 possible in San Miguel. 90s for California Valley and Chandon, 73 in Arroyo Grande. Pismo Beach at 67. That compares to the 74 we're seeing right now. So that's quite a drop compared to what we're seeing today. 70s and 80s as we head toward the south coast. Here's your 7-day forecast. We are looking at the temperatures finally turning the corner for the interior valleys as we head into Thursday. As we work our way through the weekend, we're going to be dropping to below normal temperatures for the interior valleys, back into the 80s. San Luis Obispo returning to more of a normal low to mid 70s as we look toward the end of this week and the weekend. And then Santa Maria and Santa Barbara also returning to much more seasonable high temperatures for the weekend ahead. But remember, one more hot day, especially inland.